It's Tolkien's amazing Untold story. We had the privilege of working with Tolkien scholars like Tom Shippey.
Don't do this to me.
Well, it's actually not technically a Hobbit story, it's a Harfoot story. Tolkien doesn't say anything about Harfoots not having done anything amazing in the Second Age. He says that Hobbits before the Third Age didn't do anything impressive.
Don't do this to me.
Elves, like any race of many, many beings, don't all look the same all the time. Sure felt like that's what Tolkien was saying too.
Don't do this to me.
The first female dwarf that we have ever seen in the works of Tolkien.
Don't do this to me.
That armor that you're wearing is really beautiful. Is that representing an Ent?
Ask JD and Patrick. Don't do this to me.
She wants to subvert Harfoot tradition.
Don't do this to me.
I was one of the bigger Harfy. It's Harfy.
The plural's actually Harfoot.
It's Harfy.
The women, you know, we could see all of us just going.
Don't do this to me.
They have given every woman on the show such agency.
Don't do this to me.
I wanted to bring a little bit, a lot of myself, of my upbringing, and also my heritage.
Don't do this to me.
Play a Sylvan elf, Nandor or Avari?
Don't do this to me.
Dylan and Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about the Harfoots?
I'm going to defer to my wife.
Don't do this to me.
Have an epic break with Kit Kat and the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
Don't do this to me.
If, like, Sauron is hot, I feel like people will be like, I can fix him.
Don't do this to me.
Seeing our first black elf, we're seeing the first female dwarf.
First female dwarf.
Don't do this to me.
If Middle-earth had like a club, Gandalf and Saruman probably link up.
Yo, this tune is banging!
Don't do this to me.
First female dwarf that we will ever see on screen. First dwarf of color.
Don't do this to me.
You know, we're choosing to tell it in these times, so we should represent it for these times.
Don't do this to me.
There's so much attention to details in your costumes.
Don't do this to me.
This activist, inner activist in her, and I'm a human rights activist. I always think of Bronwyn as sort of a fantastical version of myself.
Don't do this to me.
The generation that comes after us now, this will be their memory of Tolkien.
Don't do this to me.